Welcome along to another video. I am that cycling chimp, and in this one my route is going to be a 70-kilometre trip. I'm inviting every single one of you guys that's watching this to join me as I seek out something I haven't seen in years. So if you're interested in finding out a little bit more, or maybe you're new to the channel and you would just like to see Scotland by bike, you've came to the right place. So stick around, grab yourself a cuppa, kick back and relax, and let's get the show on the road. Today's adventure, I plan to cycle from my hometown in Ayr to the Big Smoke, also known as Glasgow City. As I said, it's 75 kilometres in the route that I'm taking, because I want to go and see if I can find, as Bono once said, something I've been looking for. More on that later on. Today's weather, as we can see, is pretty overcast, but the sun is coming out back and forward, so I'm hoping I'm not going to have this little jacket on very long today. So let's get clipped in and see how we get on. Now, I've got a little bit of an apology for you guys. It's been a little while since I've made a video, and it's the first time I've been on the bike in more than a week. I decided after Ride to the Sun I was going to use my 3 R's, which was recuperate, recover and replan. I had to do it. I was starting to get burned out from the sportives and the events I was doing, and I was starting to hit a little bit of a creative block as well. And when I say creative block, I'm meaning I've got plenty of routes, it was just I didn't know what I wanted to do next. But when I had a little think about it, this is a route I've been wanting to do for quite some time. And there's actually 2 routes that I could have went. I've decided to follow the NCN7 from Ayr all the way to Glasgow. I was going to go the opposite direction, where it would be up the old A77, because I'm led to believe it's all kind of not so much cycle path but segregated road for bikes. But due to the way that I'm feeling just now, I wanted to stick as close to the Ayrshire railway line as possible, just in case I get a bit fatigued and I've got to bail and I can get home easy enough. So far we're feeling not too bad in the bike. I think as well in my head it was getting to the stage after Ride to the Sun, I thought, how could I top that? And I've got to thank you all for the support and the kind messages after that. It was an incredible achievement for myself and everybody that took part. But I thought today, with heading to the city and the destination I'm going to, was going to give me some inspiration, because there'll be bucket loads where I'm going. And there's a few things on this route I want to see on the way as well. And the good thing is, there's a little bit of a tailwind which is helping me. Could never say no to a tailwind. Well, this has got to 17 kilometres and I actually feel not too bad in the bike. I thought I've been awful sluggish. I thought it would have been a drag, but it's actually quite good. I'm going to have a quick snack just to keep me fueled, and I've been drinking plenty of water to keep hydrated as well with the electrolytes. And talking about water, I've got a funny feeling we may see some rain. As I was just coming into Irvine there, I can see the black clouds just over by Kilwinning, so I've got a funny feeling we're going to see some wetness at some point today. I was going to take this little jacket off because I'm quite warm, but I think I'm going to keep it on for a wee while because it is slightly water repellent, so it might help. I'm standing in front of one of the NCN7 Millennium markers, and it says that Troon is 5 miles behind me and Irvine is 3, so I reckon Kilwinning's maybe about 6 miles. and then we're in uncharted territory for a little while. The route that I've made up today is actually bits and bobs of routes that I've done before, so it's like kind of greatest hits of the Ayrshire coast and some of the Glasgow stuff that I've only recently done. I'm definitely happy that I'm riding the Green Hornet today. I was planning to do this on the Brompton, but I don't think I'm strong enough for that just now. And it seems to be that the Green Hornet's becoming a little bit of an old faithful. That's a bit of foreshadowing, by the way. Let's get a quick bite off of my OGT bar and continue the journey. And here we go. In front of me there is a NCN 7 marker, and as I like to call it, crossroads. And the reason for that being is, well, I can either go straight towards Largs, my glasses are starting to steam up. I can always turn back and start heading towards home again, or we grip it and commit it to Glasgow. I think we're going to commit to it today. There is one little thing I want to see as I go into Kilwinning first. I'll tell you a little bit more about why I'm cycling to Glasgow today. So, let's go and investigate Kilwinning. Now behind me, tucked away just behind Kilwinning's main street, is Kilwinning Abbey. Now, there's a little bit of significance to this abbey. Well, there's a little rumour, so there is. As usual, there's always a huge plaque outside it. And it's just telling you there, Tyronean monks came from Kelso Abbey in the Scottish borders to set up the abbey here. It was founded by Sir Richard de Morville sometime between 1162 and 1189. And it's named after St Winning. Now, as I said, there's a little rumour about this place. It's believed, in one way or another, that this could have been, or could be, the last resting place of the Holy Grail. I don't know how much truth is in that, but it's all to do with the links of the Knights Templar. But imagine that, all those archaeologists like Indiana Jones travelling all over the world to try and find it. And it's actually here in Scotland, although they always say that the last resting place is Roslin Chapel. But it's absolutely magnificent looking. This is the first time I've been up close and personal with it. So just in the door there's a little plaque that says the site of the warming house, the only room where the monks were permitted a fire. This would have provided some warmth to the dormitory above. Obviously the dormitory is not there anymore. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic looking. Now I know that they do open door days where you can come along and actually get inside the Abbey Tower to the top. And they do some events as well. If you look on their website, I'll put that in the description below. There is a couple of fun things that they do. I did see there was something to do with archery, but I'll let you do a little bit of sleuthing and investigating with that one. But as I said, it's just amazing how close it is to the high street. As you can see, the high street's just down there. As I was saying, the rumour is that it's the last resting place of the Holy Grail, allegedly. I'm looking for a bit of a Holy Grail myself today. You're maybe wondering why I'm travelling up to Glasgow. Well, as I said, it's a route I've always wanted to do, but I needed a little bit of purpose and I needed to go back to my roots a little bit and think about inspiration. Now, if you ask me today who I kind of follow in the cycling community, obviously I follow quite a lot of people in the Scottish cycling community, but the biggest professional person I kind of follow is Lachlan Morton. Now, if you asked me 32 years ago what really got me into cycling, I would probably give you one name, and that name would be Graham O'Brien, also known as the Flying Scotsman. Although technically he was born in England. It's been many, many years since I've seen what I'm looking for, and I know that where I'm going, it's a replica. The original one is in the National Museum in Edinburgh, I'm led to believe. Although I remember seeing it with my own eyes in a garage in Irvine just before Graham was competing for the world speed record on a velodrome. Now, I'm not going to delve too much into the history of Graham O'Brien. I think that's for another video. I just wanted to showcase this route. So now that you know where I'm going and why I'm going to clip back in and start heading towards the city. So far this route's been really good. It's been mostly off-road, but if you really want to try it, as always, I will put the route in the description below for you guys to try out. So let's clip back in and start heading into a little bit of uncharted territory until I get to Loch Winnoch and Castle Semple. Well, when I looked at the profile, I didn't think it was going to be any hills. I thought it was going to be a pretty flat ride, and it is in the most part. But just as we're coming up to the Blair Estate, before Dalry, there's a bit of a climb. I've not done a climbing, I haven't been doing any climbing since Ride to the Sun a couple of weeks ago. Whew. It's only about 800 metres and a 3% gradient, but when you're not used to doing it, it certainly tickles the lungs a little bit. Whew. Whew. That definitely blew the cobwebs away. Wasn't a hard hill at all, but just wasn't expected. That's the only climb in today's route. I'm now heading towards Dalry. From there, it'll be Glengarnock, Loch Winnoch. This is starting to sound like a ScotRail service. And talking about ScotRail, I'll be utilising their services on the way home, because I don't plan to be doing an impromptu Imperial Century again. I think we'll stop at Loch Winnoch and get some more fueling. That's the biggest thing that I found while doing Ride to the Sun, was if you keep fueling on the bike, you go longer. Instead of trying to wing it with sweets, gels and electrolytes, you need to get some real food into you. Oh, and by the way, have you guessed where I'm going yet? Even though I've said Glasgow, but where I'm actually going. I'm heading towards the Riverside Museum, also known as the Transport Museum. That's me now just coming on to the Kilburnie to Paisley railway path. I've just come out of Glengarnock. Now, I'm under the impression from here pretty much to Paisley it's all off-road, it's all cycle path. And I've done quite a bit of this path before, especially when I've been going towards Kilmacombe. But recently, when I done the Sunday Social Kilmacombe ride with the Ouija Wheelers, the second half of this route, I slightly know where I'm going. But that's the beauty of the Garmin head unit, because I've got the map plugged into it, so it's just like a little GPS that's showing me how to get to where I need to go. As I said, I'm going to stop in Loch Winnoch for something to eat, and I've got 4 miles to get there, so let's see what this path has in store. On your right, guys. No, you're all right. No, you're all right, you're all right. Cheers, boys. This is an absolutely fantastic path. It really is. It's great that it interlinks from Glasgow, basically all the way down to Ayr. And the vast majority is traffic free, which is a bonus. I'm actually looking forward to stopping in Loch Winnoch because I'm starting to get a bit peckish. But yeah, it's definitely been a nice route so far, and definitely one I would recommend. Oh, geese. Right, come on guys, let's move to the side please. Nothing to see here for local people. Let's go. I'm going this way. That's good, that's good. I didn't know I was going to have a menagerie of birds greeting me as I got to Castle Semple, but we're here. Just shy of 50 kilometres. Going to stop, have something to eat. It's an absolutely great place to come, especially when it's a nice day. Not saying it's a nice day today, but when the sun's out, it's very, very enjoyable. That's me just popped into the cafe at Castle Semple, got myself a can of Coke, and I'm just about to eat my sandwich, which today is ham and cheese, by the way. It's quite a good place as well, because there's a lot of places round about. You can park your bike to lock up. They've got facilities if you need the toilet, and as I said, the cafe's quite good as well. It's reasonably priced, which is something that's always great when you're out on the bike and you're looking for a quick fix of something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to eat this sandwich and then continue on. I think we'll get roughly about 20 kilometres until we get to our destination. The question is though, how am I going to get over the Clyde from the south side? Because I'm going to go in through Govan. Well, that's me fed and watered, been to the toilet as well, just ready to go. But I did notice there was a park information notice board here, and I don't know whether the Loch Winnoch community's a little bit further ahead than everybody else in the country, but apparently they've got zombie apocalypse survival training. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit old to be participating in it, but I'm pretty sure there's a few things you could learn on that would come in useful. It's a little bit of a challenging climb just as you come out to get back up onto the railway path. It's a little bit harder because the front bag's a little bit heavier. I just couldn't resist. I seen there was a raspberry coconut cake, so it's in the bag, as is another can of Coke. This cycleway really is a dream. I've seen a few cyclists on it, but it has been pretty quiet. And I thought it would have been a lot busier as well, as the kids are on their summer holidays. I've seen quite a lot of kids out on their bikes, but it's been relatively quiet. We're just about to come into the back end of Paisley. Well, why does it always happen when the cameras are switched off? We've just taken we just took a spill on the bike, nearly had a near collision with another cyclist, which everybody's okay. I did take a wee tumble, but I've got a funny feeling I may need to get myself a new helmet. It's not broken in any way, but there is a dent. I feel okay. As I said, we're just coming down a hill there and it's a blind corner. Obviously the twos were maybe going a little bit too fast, but I tried to take off at the side, and then the grass was a little bit wet, so I just come straight off. I'm just hoping that we're okay. We've not bent any of the rear mech or that, but everything looks okay. No scratches, just a little bruise in my dignity just now. Let's get back on and see how we go on. Yep, everything seems to be okay. I'm actually glad I had my helmet on, because I thought I took a bit of a dunk when I went down. I feel okay. No dizziness or disorientation. So we're not too bad there. I'll give the bike a good check over when I got home as well. but it seems to be shifting no problem. These things happen. Sometimes when you're out on the bike, you think the cycle paths are safer, but these things happen. Just wish I'd got it in camera because you would have got a good laugh. I couldn't recover like I did when I was on the ice, but we're all good. Not long to go now. The other thing I wasn't expecting was the sun to come out when we hit this side of the city. Absolutely boiling. I eventually had to take that little jacket off. I'm stopping for a little bit of sausage. I'm still a little bit hungry. Just adding a little bit more fuel. We've done 67 kilometres, so we've only got a couple left to go. But it's been a great cycle, apart from our little mishap. But we're all good. There's only one turning that was wrong and we had to go into some of the main roads, but we got here. Now, how am I going to cross the Clyde? I know, I'll use the brand new bridge that takes you across. Now that was certainly a lot easier to get to that way than it would have been if I had to navigate the city. Need to find if I can park my bike somewhere to begin and have a little look to see if I can find what I'm looking for. Now behind me here is the Riverside Museum, also known as the Transport Museum. It's been here since 2011. The original Transport Museum used to be over by in Partick, which is pretty close by, but they moved to this new site and it's quite good. It's free entry to get in, so if you're ever in Glasgow and you're looking for something to do, it's one of those things that is a must see. But let's go in and see if I can find what I've been looking for. Now, we're looking above us at all the old bikes here. I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. God, I remember when those taxis used to go about Glasgow city centre. Now, could it be here? Nope, they're just trikes and really old bicycles. That's not what I'm looking for either. Where are you? Nope, I'm not looking for an old penny farthing either. Come on, where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. Aha! Now this is what I'm looking for. At the beginning of the video I was talking about Old Faithful. And here we have two replicas of Old Faithful. Now these were both used in the Flying Scotsman film. But I remember when I was a wee boy and Graham O'Brien used to stay quite close to my mum and dad's, and one day myself and my friend were washing his car and he was actually working on Old Faithful in the garage, building out of wash machine parts. It's absolutely amazing to see. The UCI completely banned the bike, but he did accomplish 2 world records in '93 and '94, and he's a huge inspiration for anyone that's local in Ayrshire, but anybody in the cycling world in Scotland. If you've never ever seen the Flying Scotsman film, I suggest you see it, and if you don't know much about Graham O'Brien, let me know in the comments below because I might do a video on him. But yes, I'm very impressed. And we've also got his Olympic suit and jacket from Atlanta in 1996. And there's a couple of UCI medals there as well. It's an absolutely wonderful museum and it's a place I'm probably going to come back to in the future and do a full video on it. Look at the size of this little racer. As I said, it's a completely free exhibition for anybody to come and see, and it is quite good. But now, I need to think about getting back to the Realshire, and I'm going to utilise ScotRail's service. So let's get the bike redressed again and start thinking about getting down Broomielaw towards Central Station. Now, just before I leave the Riverside Museum, I thought I'd show you this new bridge that connects Govan up with Partick. It opened in 2024 and it's been met with great praise because it links the city up a lot better as well. Now, the amazing thing about this bridge is it actually swivels round so that boats can get up and down the Clyde as well. So it is pretty practical. The design on it there is also supposed to be fashioned just like the cranes that used to belong all the Clyde in the shipbuilding days. One of those cranes sits at Finniston, which we'll pass as we're going back to the train station. I didn't know that Govan had a little town like that before. That's the first time I've actually come through Govan. I've only ever passed Ibrox when I've been driving in and out of the city. And one of the other things that you'll probably be wondering, at the back of the Riverside Museum, we've also got a tall ship. So you really could have a great day out here, and you also get a fantastic look across the Clyde, the BBC Scotland studios, the Science Centre. You can see the Armadillo and the Hydro and the Crown Plaza Hotel. You can also see the Bells Bridge as well. Apparently there's a cycle path that takes you all the way along the Clyde, so I'm going to utilise that to get back to where I need to go. Can't believe I got to see that bike. It's a long time since I've seen it. Well, that's us got to the end of yet another video. Just like to thank you all for sticking around and keeping me company today on the ride up to the Big Smoke. I really enjoyed that one. Definitely one I want to try again. I think for me, the biggest thing was seeing that bike again. As I said, I didn't know that it was in the Transport Museum, and it brought back a lot of memories for me as well. As I said, that route, even though I got a bit lost when I got into the city by taking a wrong turn, it was really good, and I suggest anybody to try it if they want it. For me, it's time to go home and start looking at helmets after that collision that I had. As I said, I've got a dent in my helmet, so I'm going to need to get a new one. It looks intact, but safety first. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing, because it's your subscribing that keeps the Chimp rolling and riding. And guys, the support I've been getting off you recently has been unbelievable. We're nearly at 2,000 subscribers, and I might have a big route if we get there soon. Hope to see you all in the next one. In the meantime, you can check out my last video up there, or you can check out previously on That Cycling Chimp, which are archive videos. And it seems to be a lot easier watching them now. Till the next time, guys, bye for now, and remember to pedal smart out there.